Okay, let's not waste any time here. Bejeweled 2 is a puzzle game made by PopCap. There are a bunch of jewels that are scattered around this void, and the main goal of the game is to match as many jewels as you can. You match jewels by connecting at least 3 of them in a line together. There's a bit more depth to the game than that. Like if you match 4 of them together, it will create a signing jewel that will explode when matched again. But there isn't really that much more you need to know about the game than that. How you experience the game will be dependent on what mode you decide to pick at the start. There are 3 modes in the game: Classic, Action, and Endless. And they all change the format of how you play the game. Starting off with Classic mode, you start off at level 1, and there's a green bar which you need to fill by doing matches to get to the next level. The way you lose in Classic mode is by getting into a situation where you can't match anything. I don't really like the way this pans out, since it feels more like you get unlucky whenever you lose. Otherwise, this feels the most adventurous of all the modes in the game, but it's also the least fun out of all the modes because it's the least fairly challenging, while also not giving you the flexibility to play around more. Action mode is where you're on a timer and you have to match fast enough so that you can get to the next level without timing out. This is the best mode to pick if you want a challenge when playing the game, but it's also the least flexible out of all the modes. The mode itself is pretty fun, but you will only really be playing the mode for that specific purpose. Endless mode is the weirdest one out of all of them. At first I thought this would be the one that would require the most challenge, but it's actually the most casual friendly mode in the game. There isn't any way to time out or lose in this mode, so you're just free to play the game until you decide to quit. So unlike the other modes in the game, if you're just playing this game on a car trip for instance and don't want to worry about losing the level you're in or timing out, then this is the perfect mode for you. So that's all the main 3 modes covered. Moving on to the bells and whistles of the game. The graphics look surprisingly good for an App Store launch title. Comparing this game to some other games we looked at, this one doesn't look too out of place compared to more modern games on iOS. The sound effects in this game are also well made that enhance the immersion factor of it. The music itself in this game can get kind of repetitive, but it's still a good song. There is also an auto hint button in the settings of the game. All it does is tell you where a match is if you can't find one in a specific amount of time. I would recommend turning this feature off since you already have a hint button that does the same thing when you're playing the game anyway, so it's not really needed. Overall, I think my biggest critique of the game is the lack of content in it. There's 3 modes in the game, but they all don't really feel that substantially different from the others. And even then, Endless mode is the one that's going to be best suited to play on average for most situations. But overall, that complaint really isn't that bad when you consider that everything surrounding the game is so great. It's not my type of game, but it is still one that's well made. Definitely one that's going to go at the top of the Google Doc. There's not really much to say about this game other than if you like match-free games, then this one is pretty good. And with that, I hope to find many more good games to come, and I will see you in the next Applesode.